I know the two of you are friends. How do you know each other? Amy,
Mostly from the runway.
Like our relationship started over DM. Classic.
I think so too. Like the blurred lines video for me was like so empowering and exciting, and I feel like I had never seen someone just like embracing like their funniness and silliness and sexuality, and I felt really empowered by it. I feel pretty came up and she said that she would do it, and then on set we hung out, we got to talk, and we had a good vibe. Like we just connected, and it felt like a fast friendship.
yeah, I feel pretty for anyone watching who hasn't seen it. Amy, you play a woman who's very insecure about her body, and then Emily's character's crying because she's been dumped, and Amy, you can't believe that anyone who looks like her would ever have any problems. Curious if that kind of dynamic resonated with either of you just from life.
Especially with social media, you just think, oh, if I were that beautiful, I would just have no problems and life would be more fun and better. And everybody has their own struggles, and I think being the most beautiful girl in the room must, also you have to pay a price for that.
Women, no matter how they look, are faced with the feeling that they're never enough. They're never enough X, Y, or Z. You're either too fat or you're too skinny or whatever. And I think that we also are taught or learn from our culture at a very young age that, you do want to compete with other women. So the grass is always greener on the other side, no matter the person.
This brings us to Emily's book, because I feel like so much of it is about sort of dwelling in the contradictions of being a public figure, of figuring out, as you said, Emily, how to proceed.
I, had been sort of the poster child for choice feminism, for believing that, you can call it feminism if it's your choice. If you want to get naked or you want to dress a certain way, that can be even empowering. With blurred lines, which we were talking about earlier, I was a great testament to that, a perfect example. I had more money than I ever had before. I became famous from commodifying my image and my body. I really was interested in the book and exploring was the ways that I've been complicit and interested in, not only commodifying my image, but exploiting the system that we live in and that I work in.
How funny that my book has my body on it and yours doesn't.
One of those experiences that has made a lot of news just this week is talking about the blurred line shoot and what you describe as an incident with Robin Thicke on the set where he came back at the end a bit drunk and you felt him groping your breast and talked a lot about how you did feel like it was an empowering video and how a positive experience for you. And I'm curious, when you were doing that, where did that incident sit in your mind?
Yeah, first of all, it's been really frustrating because this was leaked by a news source that was not supposed to leak this information. And I'm a little disappointed simply because, it's not that I spoke out about this situation because I wanted some kind of political, feeling or consequences for this person. It's just a part of an essay which really sort of demonstrates the awakening that I had. If I had stopped that shoot, I think that my big break might not have happened at all. And I'm not sure that I would have even been able to publish the book that I'm publishing now. So, it's really a double-edged sword and it's nuanced and I have a complicated relationship to it. But that's sort of the purpose of these essays and the book.
It's interesting. People's first instinct when they hear about a woman, like talking about a sexual assault or her pain or whatever, is to think that she's lying. Like that's really people's first instinct. That's even my first instinct sometimes. Women's pain is real. These sexual assaults are real. And our culture has brainwashed even women into not wanting to hear women talk about it. But I think it makes me feel way less alone, when women share these stories.
Talk about activism, I think that's the first way that we can start to really make impactful change in culture is by sharing our stories and starting to try to understand what's at the root of them.
I had a joke in my last special about how this younger generation, the women were like, have you guys been getting sexually harassed like this your whole lives? And we're like, yeah. And they're like, well, do you want to do something about that? And we're like, oh yeah. We're like, I think we've just accepted how things are for so long. It's an exciting time to have people being held accountable.
Women do succeed because of the way they look at times. They can. And I think that, you know, there's a whole generation of women who are exploring that with OnlyFans and trying to kind of take back the power.
I think we're both like, I think we both look at our platform as not like a responsibility, but like an opportunity to have people feel empowered and feel better. And so the idea is to get in power and then sort of, I don't want to say by any means necessary, but I mean, my first specials, I was in like a mini skirt. So, but hopefully a guy will stay on the channel for a second because he sees like a skirt and then listen to what I'm saying. And it's always been about sneaking in, you know, shaved carrots into the brownie mix. However, I'm going to get your attention. Great. If you're going to listen. And over time and aging, I don't have to hide my actual like identity and opinions anymore because I broke through the door.
You can only succeed within the confines of the cis hetero patriarchal construct that we live in. But I would never fault a woman for capitalizing off of, you know, the reality.
I want to take this opportunity to say I love the New Yorker, and I'm not afraid to say that. I'm sorry, it's controversial.
I'm glad you got the giant bag of cash we delivered earlier today.